What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Max Attack Motorsports. Here we are again, as you guys can see, in the garage. You see our CSCS 343 number there. Yeah, the GTI, guys. So just a quick update on everything. The GTI is pretty much all apart now. Sold a lot of parts, so if you're following the video here, you bought some parts off me. I really do appreciate it. But yeah, it's been definitely a journey the past couple weeks trying to get that all parted out, get everything kind of sorted out with the GTI, the FC. Last time I showed you guys, it was on the ground, but I had it up in the air for a while. We just did training fluid, motor oil, as well as the rear end. So red line all the way around. Pricey stuff, but always the best when it comes to the FC. But yeah, another update too, as far as the G35 goes. So I went out and bought some parts. Right here, you guys can maybe see it. Got the drive shaft now for the LS, as well as custom-made motor mounts. I'm not sure if I've shown you guys these yet, but yeah, trans mount, headers, all that stuff's out in the rear shed there. But today's video, guys, I'm gonna try to put this camera down if I can. A lot going on here at my house. We're trying to put cameras in. Again, I got lights out everywhere. It's been a time, but yeah, back to the whiteboard. I've been getting a lot more questions about doing some more top 10 stuff. I've been trying to do this video for quite some time now, but I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna do kind of a special video for me, I guess you can say. Last time we did the top 10 childhood cars that impacted me the most, and yeah, I got a lot of good reviews from a lot of you guys through my Instagram and stuff like that about people that liked it. But what we're gonna do today is we're gonna do a ranking, but we're gonna rank previous cars that I've owned. So don't get too excited. It's nothing like too crazy, but I figured, you know what, I have pictures of the cars, stuff that was kind of like done to them and stuff like that. So I will definitely throw some pictures in there as we go along, but I'm going to try to rank all the cars that I've owned in the past. Some of them were sports cars, some of them were just regular dailies, trucks and whatnot. I figured I'd just kind of give you guys an insight on the cars that I've owned and what I liked about them, what I didn't like about them, stuff that I learned about them, and stuff that I kind of wish that I knew about them now, like with the knowledge that I have now, maybe building like my first car and stuff like that. So yeah, got the laptop sitting over there again with the light just to kind of help out. But yeah, let's get to it, guys. All right, guys, so for the first car here, again, I do apologize for the whole setup, but yeah, I don't have any stands and whatnot. But bonus car, what we're gonna do, or bonus truck, I guess you can say, for number one now. This is what I currently drive. So right now, as of today, we're driving a 2018 Dodge Ram. And it's the 1500. Nothing too crazy. Again, I just figure I let people know what I drive on like a daily basis. You know, and having the family now and whatnot, I do a lot of camping as well as hauling the cars and going from track to track. 2018 Ram, 5.7, has the Hemi in it. Extended cab or crew cab, I think it is, 4x4. And again, it's not really on my list of ranking. I'm just kind of letting you guys know, but great truck if you guys are obviously interested in the Rams. They do have a reputation, especially in the Toronto area here, for being stolen a lot. Hopefully people can come down on that kind of thing, because it's getting really annoying for sure. But yeah, nothing too crazy. I just figure I'd let you guys know what we drive on a daily basis. All right, guys, so coming in at number 10, I'm lucky enough that I've had 10 vehicles in the past, not including like all the demo derby cars and whatnot. But number 10 is the G35. So of course, yeah, of course we got the VQ 6-speed Brembo package in that car that's outside there that we're going to be building into the drift car. It's so low on the list, honestly, because it's so kind of new to me and new to the garage. I've actually looked at kind of trading it and looking for a couple other cars, but if I can't find anything that I really truly want to build or like, then I'm just going to build the G. But yeah, it's basically the 350Z as well. Huge following. So anyone that's watching the video and you're looking like at some sort of review of the car, there's a massive following for these cars. and they're pretty stout for what they are. You have brands like ISR, you have Enjuco Racing. I think there's Z1 Motorsports or something that's in the States as well. So you can easily get parts, and high quality parts at that as well. But as far as the ranking for myself, it's too new to really have like a kind of thought process on it. But we'll see how the build goes. If we obviously decide to go through with it, I plan on doing it at this point. But yeah, it comes in at number 10 on the previously slashed current owned cars. Okay, so at number 9, this was a 2004, by the way. I should have mentioned that. Earlier model, DE and whatnot. But at number 9, it's a 2001 Volkswagen Golf 2-point slow. So yeah, not many people know. Yeah, it was one of my first cars I actually had, was a Mark IV Golf with the 2-liter. I got it for a good deal, but I'll be honest with you, I really did not like the car at all. I despised it. It kept breaking down on me. I get it that maintenance is huge on the cars. I owned the car for about 4 or 5 months until I just had enough. But again, I was young when I owned it. It was like a daily commuter car for me, so I didn't really care like too much about it. But I did like dumb stuff with it. Like I cut the exhaust off it at the back, so like it naturally kind of sounded off, pops and bangs and stuff like that. And I think I removed the 2 rear hubcaps and left the front 2 hubcaps on, to make it look like I had some sort of turbo fans for the front brake. So very immature owner at the time that I owned it. But I mean, obviously now knowing that there's companies like Das Parts, there's Euro Tuning, there's ECS Tuning, and the following that everyone has with these cars, I probably would treat it in a different way. With the 2-liter, you can get a supercharger kit. I think it's from New Speed. Some guys will throw a boost at it, and if not, you take the 1.8 or the VR6 out of another Golf and swap it all in. So yeah, it comes in at number 9. Again, just a really bad experience with that Golf, and I really I told myself honestly I wasn't going to buy another German car after that one. But yeah, comes in at number 9 on our list. Okay guys, so number 8. Again, I'm going to try to include pictures of the cars as we go. I think I have some of the G. I don't know if you guys have actually seen it. The Golf, I didn't take any pictures of that car. I honestly didn't care. But this one, I think I have one, and it's a 1980 Ford Fairmont. A lot of you guys are asking, what is the Ford Fairmont? So pretty much basically, the Fairmont is essentially a 4-door Fox body. It shares a lot of the similarities that the Ford Mustang, the Fox body has. Yeah, anyways, long story short, I ended up picking this car up for an actual derby. I was planning on running a 1980 something Caprice wagon that I kind of had lined up, but the previous owner at the time, he sold it, and I was kind of left stranded with a little bit of cash and my trailer on my truck, and I left work and drove to Peterborough, Ontario to buy this 1980 Fairmont. Didn't really run that well. It had the straight 6 in it, so I think these cars came 2.3 liter. Then they had the straight 6, and then obviously you had the 302, I believe, was in there. But yeah, I brought it back home. I realized it was too like solid of a car to really throw in a derby, and one of the few cars I've actually done that with. But I had a lot of plans with it. It was originally the car I wanted to build for my first drift car. I mean, you can get tubular subframes for the front that you can swap the LS in. So if you follow like Matt Happel or whatever his name is on Instagram and YouTube and Facebook, you guys should know that the Fairmont's like part of the sloppy kind of mechanics type of build. So you can do, I mean, upgraded turbo, you can do upgraded injectors on an LS and slam it in a Fairmont, and it's a recipe for a really fun car. But yeah, I went out and I bought, what did I buy for it? I bought an 8.8 out of a Mustang GT, which is pretty much just a direct bolt-in. And then after a while, again, I had a lot of issues with the carburetor, trying to keep it running and moving and whatnot. But I ended up selling it and didn't really dive into it. But from that point forward, I was pretty regretful on bailing on my first drift car, hence trying to get back into it with the G35. But if you do pick up a Ford Fairmont, Summit Racing for sure. I mean, anything domestic, you can get a lot of parts for them. They're pretty popular down in the States if they're solid for drag racing. They make a wagon version as well, but you can easily take the subframe out and swap in a 2.3 liter one if you want to go boosted with that. You can put in the 302, and of course, I think AGE is the company from Summit Racing that sells the tubular K-member for an LS swap. So perfectly awesome car. It was just at the time a car that I didn't really want to really build. I don't know why. I really should have, but it comes in at number 8 on our top 10. All right, guys. So at number 7 here, it's 2008 Chevy Silverado. Whoops. So this truck was actually one of my daily trucks. I loved it, honestly. I had it for a bunch of years. I picked it up after one of my buddies got a Sierra, and just being in that truck, and it had that GM kind of green dash. If any of you guys have driven those trucks around that age, you guys know the dash, and for some reason I loved it. Like even like the radio and stuff like that. But yeah, a lot of good memories with that truck. I did a lot of derbies. Towing my cars. A couple of the old race cars I used to run. That was my war rig right there. But nothing really crazy to it. 5.3 engine. Obviously a lot of fun, a proven motor, but we threw a cherry bomb, so straight pipe pretty much to a cherry bomb. It was definitely fun. Then I started having some fun with like I put like a small light bar on there. I did some like red accent light. It wasn't anything too crazy. I think I put like LEDs on it as well, but definitely a fun truck. And I know some people might say, well, why is it higher than the Ford Fairmont and stuff like that? It's just I really enjoyed it as a truck. So if you guys ever get into them, make sure that the box is in good shape, because the rear quarters on the box just take an absolute beating, especially if you live up in the snow belt and whatnot. So, but it comes in at number 7 on our list. Okay, guys. So number 6 here, we have the 2003 Hyundai, and I'm sure you guys already know, Tiburon. Yes, a Tibby. So when I was growing up, obviously I started getting more into cars and wanting to mod cars. I looked at Jettas, believe it or not, even after my my Volkswagen Golf experience. Clearly with the 1.8, I remember hearing them on YouTube really when it first started going, and just the sound was amazing. WRX STIs, all that stuff, but everything at that point was way out of my wheelhouse for pricing. So I settled with a Hyundai Tiburon, and this is before the Genesis came out. Yeah, it was just a good deal that I found on Kijiji at the time. Red, bone stock, like nothing done to it at all. Sunroof, but 5-speed with the 2-liter. So insanely slow. Especially if the AC was on. Oh my gosh, guys, it was painful to be in. But yeah, I started modding. It was really the first car that I bought rims for. I had a DC Sports exhaust on it, OBX header. This is like original, like very classy mods, I guess you can say. But yeah, we did LED lights. I had a shocker, JDM shocker on there with Kenwood stickers and whatnot. It was pretty riced out, but I really enjoyed it. A lot of good memories in that car, like with friends and family, and yeah, just road trips and stuff like that. It was a lot of fun. One thing for sure that drove me nuts about it was the rear hatch would rattle like crazy. So I remember pulling apart all of the kind of paneling in the back and stuffing like blankets and sheets and everything in there and packing it as tight as I could, because anytime you hit a bump, anytime you had the sound system on, anytime like the exhaust was going, it would be rattle city. So still like a good car if you can find one. I mean, the Genesis are probably a better choice now, but if you can find one, if it's 2.7, there's still kind of like forums out there like newtiburon.com. There's also NGM or something like that, and Alpine that did make a supercharger kit for the V6 at one point. So if you're looking at those, I'm sure you can go on a forum and try to find a used one. But yeah, like still pretty cool. A lot of guys will boost the 2-liter now, even though the power output's not really anything too crazy. But yeah, if I was to do it over again, I would just keep it simple, man. I would literally just intake, maybe like a nice cap back. I'm sure you can get BC coilovers for now too. If not, maybe Megan Racing, I think, made them, K Sport as well. But yeah, you can just lower it down, make it sound nice, and just cruise with it, because it's not really a car that was really, like, I know it was sporty, but not really designed to go too crazy. But yeah, it comes in at number 6. I did really like the car a lot, but yeah, number 6 on our countdown. Okay, guys, so we're getting into the 5th position on our top 10 kind of ranking cars. And again, I'm going to try to include the photos. I know I said that before, but I'm going to try to get the photos in there for you guys. Number 5 is a 1995 Ford F-150. So yes, great body style, man. What a kick-ass truck for sure. A little bit higher than some of the other ones. I mean, the Tiburon and whatnot, but yeah, the Ford F-150. So at the time, I was kind of in between cars. I needed to really get a truck, just because of all the camping and going to Mosport and the Demo Derby stuff. I needed a truck so that I can put all my parts in there. I can start pulling stuff. So I bought this 1995 Ford F-150 off a guy that owned a shop in the Milton area. Northside Autosports was the was the shop. So if anyone knows why I'm laughing, then you guys know. But yeah, it was a cool truck. I didn't pay too much for it. It was blue. It had the nice kind of like solid kind of brushed aluminum wheels on it. Again, I'll put the picture in there so you guys can see it. But this truck broke down on me a lot. I had a lot of issues with fuel lines, coolant lines, tires blowing out. Yeah, but the cool thing about it was single cab, bench seat in the front, 8-foot box in the back, guys. So I mean, camping was like, it was amazing. I could put a tent in there. I could put a half a hot tub in there. It was such an awesome truck, and I did really enjoy it a lot in the long run. I end up derbying it. I don't know if I have any. No, I got no pictures of it here, but I'll include one with the derby stuff. Won with it once, finished third with it the second time or something like that. But 302, and I put long tubes on it, so straight long tube headers for the derby stuff. It was like such a badass sounding truck, honestly. Like, just, oh, I loved it the way it sounded. But I owned the truck for about 3 or 4 years, I think, and then the derby stuff happened. But it was a perfect truck at the time for me, going in between. I think it was the Tiburon and another car. So definitely really enjoyed it. If I was to do it all again, find a nice clean one. There's so much stuff you can do to them, make them look nice, sound good, two-tone paint jobs. Just keep it nice and clean, keep it out of the salt, whatever you do. But it comes in at number 5 on our top 10. Okay, so number 4 here, guys. 2003 GTI. So there it is. That's the car that pretty much kicked off this whole channel right here. As you guys see the orb, but yeah, the 2003 Volkswagen GTI, our little beauty that is now sitting on jack stands and half apart and harness ripped out and parts all over the place. Yeah, it comes in at number 4. So again, you guys saw the kind of goodbye video that I filmed with it, but I did really truly like the car a lot. I still do. A part of me is kind of like bummed that I decided to part it out, but yeah, I mean, coming back from the 2001 Golf, the 2-liter, I told myself I was never going to buy another one, but when this GTI came about, I was able to get it for a really good deal. All original, bone stock, barring that it needed a lot of work. But yeah, it kind of got me back into the whole Volkswagen thing. And again, maybe it's because I fixed everything that was broken on the Golf, even though the 2-liter is a lot different than the 1.8 in a certain aspect, of course. But I think what makes it high on my list is like the people I met through it. Obviously, you know, I mean, the Das Parts guys, a bunch of you guys on Instagram, and obviously through this channel. Yeah, it's more like a sentimental value, I guess you can say, and still like a really, really fun car, especially with, you know, I mean, putting on the track and having fun with it, but doing the grippy tires and stuff like that. I really did enjoy it. Every aspect of the building stuff was fun, except for doing the coilovers. I'm not gonna lie, I really hated those a lot with those spindles and whatnot. but you guys, like I said, saw the video that pretty much said my goodbyes to it and whatnot, and you guys should kind of know by now how I truly feel about it. But it does come in at number 4 on our top 10. All right, so number 3 here, we got the 1988, sorry about the writing there, RX-7. So the FC, right here, number 3 on my list of the previous / current cars for a top 10. But yeah, I absolutely love this car. Seriously, the top 3 cars coming up here, yeah, including the RX-7, I just had such a hard time trying to choose between all of them because I love them all so much for sure. But yeah, still trying to learn more about the rotary stuff. There's so much good information online as far as the RX-7 forums, people on YouTube, a lot of local people around me, which I'm lucky to have the knowledge with that. But yeah, I think I just love the whole maintenance factor of it. Like I said, when the video started, we just did the tranny fluid, the rear end fluid, the engine oil, like little stuff like that, spark plugs, making sure it runs right, doing the whole pre-mixing stuff. It to me, I rather enjoy that stuff, which I think makes owning the RX-7 a lot more fun. But also just the whole body line situation of it, that 944 kind of look. It just really I don't know, it's like kind of touching for me for sure, as you guys know from my childhood video as well. The RX-7 in general is a car that had a huge impact on me. So driving it is so much fun. If you guys do ever buy one, get one that's nice and clean. Obviously that's the number one thing. It might be pretty pricey, but if you upgrade the bushings, you put it on coils, you get a good set of tires on it, rims, brakes, all that stuff, they're so much fun to drive. And the FC in general, I didn't think it was going to be that much fun until I really drove it. So the FD being a bit bigger, the FB I heard is like really just a pure sports car, which I'm sure would be a lot of fun to drive as well. But yeah, I don't know. Like, again, I've owned the RX-7 for only so long, honestly. Like, I think like 4 or 5 years, but it really, like, every time I look at it, every time I hear it run, every time I drive it, it just puts a huge smile to my face. And because I wanted one for so long, I really love it a lot. So that's why it comes in number 3. All right, guys, so coming in number 2 here, just try to make it quick. The very hot, the very smelly, and the insanely loud IROC Z28 1989, my baby. Yes, that was my baby when I really started building cars. To make it quick and easy here, it was a 305 TPI, originally white, painted electric blue, T-tops, of course, 5-speed transmission. I picked it out of Toronto, bone stock, apart from some wheels, and it had like a small exhaust system on it. But yeah, I really wanted a car to really build up, and this was the candidate that I did it with. So swapped out the TPI. We took that garbage motor out, and we put in a very well built 355. So bored over 350. Heads, cam, full MSD ignition. End up putting the Holley sniper system on it, which was like one of the best things I've ever done to a car, considering I mean, it was originally carbureted, had a lot of issues, but yeah, we tuned it 36 degrees timing, I think it was, at full throttle with 12-to-1 compression. It was stout for sure. I ended up ordering gallons of Sunoco 260 GTX, which is a 98 octane fuel that I had sitting in this garage here. But yeah, originally it was a car that I wanted to build it for CSCS. That was like the goal. I actually remember messaging CSCS about it, but I'm very happy I didn't bring it there, because despite the camber plates, upgraded cooling, we did sway bars, we did bushings, we did panhard bars, we had Sportline springs on it with upgraded shocks, some fuel tank, upgraded fuel pump. It was crazy, man. I'm not gonna lie. I spent a lot of money on that car, like a lot of money. So like, if you're looking to build an IROC and you want to whatever, you're gonna spend money for sure. But yeah, I don't know. I kind of overbuilt it to the point where like I couldn't even drive it. Like I couldn't see over the hood one. I couldn't reach the pedals on it just because I'm a smaller guy, and it was just becoming a huge pain to even move out of the garage without waking half the neighborhood up. I ended up actually like like this was like 4 years ago. Like that's the cold start on that right there. That's all stuff from the exhaust when I used to run it. But yeah, a huge pain in the ass car for sure. But again, had so much fun with it. So it comes in at number 2 on our top 10. Alrighty, guys. So coming in at number 1 on our top 10. Like many of you, your first car is always your favorite car. And for me, mine is the 1985 Nissan 300ZX. So, yeah, man, this is my first car. And again, number 1 on my list for many reasons. Obviously, sentimental value. I'm not afraid to admit it. My dad bought it for me when I was like 16 or 17. So I think he kind of bought it for himself, but it was my car. Learned how to drive standard on it, which was a lot of fun. And yeah, I had such a ball with it. It was in rough shape, but we got it repainted. I threw on like a cherry bomb muffler on it as well. Like it sounded awesome with NA V6 and 5-speed. So it was such a perfect car. I really did enjoy it. I drove it through snowstorms. I drove it in rainstorms. I drove it camping. I packed it full of beer and went up to Sudbury to a cottage with it. Like it was so much fun. And I really truly like do miss it a lot. Like I really want to get into another one, try to get a turbo one if I can. But yeah, if you guys are able to find one and you find a clean one, like seriously, you can lower them down now. At the time it was hard for me to find any sort of coilovers, so I think S13 coilovers fit now, or I'm sure Techno Toy Tuning, I think they are in the States, makes something like that, or BC. But there's definitely a lot of stuff you can do. And yeah, like the market for them and the popularity is getting a lot better with them as well. So most people like the Z32, which is like kind of the bigger and rounder version of the 300ZX, which the twin turbo like V6, like such a powerful car for sure. But to see the Z31s are starting to come up more and get more into the scene is pretty cool. So I actually have a picture of it just before we go here. You guys can take a look. Again, I'm going to probably put pictures of it in the actual video here, but that's it right there. Bone stock. And again, you can see it has the 4-bolt wheels there. I think they were 4x114.3. So, I mean, you can buy wheels for it, but definitely tough sometimes, or at least back in the time that I owned it, it was tough for me. So, but yeah, guys, again, the top 10 ranking of previous owned and current owned cars. The G35, again, we'll see how that works out. The 2000 Volkswagen Golf, bad experience, so don't let this one phase you. 1980 Fairmont, again, so much stuff you can do. There's a lot of support from them online for sure. Silverado Chevy, I mean, that's nothing too crazy, just a daily. The Tiburon, Import Shark, newtiburon.com. Lots of forums out there that you can still get some good parts for it. The 1995 Ford F-150, badass truck for sure. They're so nice when they're clean. But yeah, the GTI, again, there's the baby right there. Definitely a lot of support for those as well. The RX-7, I mean, as well too. There's so much stuff you can get for them, whether it's powered by Max or you know, I mean, HSD or anything really. You go to any performance shop, you can get parts for them as far as modifications, body kits, and whatnot. Oh, the IROC for sure. Again, the top 3 being really tough, but yeah, the 1989 Chevy IROC, and of course my first car and my number 1 car, the 1985 Nissan 300ZX. So guys, I really do appreciate you guys watching another video. Again, don't forget to comment and subscribe on it as well. You can check me out on Instagram at Max Attack Motorsports. I look forward to hearing from you guys. Stay safe and good to talk to you again. Take care.